you're doing. It's great to see Eagle's Nest out here. I'm so impressed with you guys. You guys are self-funded. You don't utilize government grants. I'm so amazed at what you guys have got going on, and thank you for coming. I've seen a few members of New River Valley Reentry Council here today, and you guys help get local business leaders involved in taking care of our own. I'm impressed with y'all as well, and I want to thank the members of the community for coming out to support me. I hope you all understand how encouraging it is to see folks here and ready to do this. And I want to say a big thanks to Susan Sink. I'm going to get you up here in a few minutes. Sinkland Farms is the most beautiful venue. It's profitable. It's self-sufficient. She's another one right here, a huge business leader. So I want to tell you a little bit about myself. My family roots run deep in Southwest Virginia. My great-great-grandparents left Harlan, Kentucky, and they settled in Lee County, Virginia. My great-grandfather was a Burley tobacco farmer, and he was the postmaster in Lee County. His son, my granddaddy, left Lee County and became a surgeon, and was even a surgeon to the Carter family over in Hiltons, Virginia. If y'all have ever heard of the Carter family, they're a famous bluegrass music family over that way. My dad's mom was a stoneman from Ivanhoe, Virginia, and a relative of one of the most well-known old-time banjo-picking bluegrass music families in the U.S., the Stoneman family. So I'm an Appalachian girl all the way. I'm also an engineer, and I completed my degree at Clemson University. Then I spent 5 years working with automotive parts manufacturers down in South Carolina. We opened up Due South Barbecue in 2007 while Jared attended medical school at VCOM. We fed almost everybody in the area and lots of travelers too. One time Blake Shelton stopped in, he got a few racks of ribs, and he asked our staff if they'd like his autograph. The staff said nope, but if Miranda Lambert's in that bus, we sure would like hers. Our experience with opening restaurants opened our eyes to the work involved operating small businesses and to how intrusive the government can be. The days of doing business with a handshake are over, and the red tape, hurdles, and regulations we faced when opening Fatback Soul Shack in 2016 blew my mind. These are the many reasons I'm now involved in politics. I stood up against Christiansburg's infamous attack on the Starlight Movie Theater with overreaching noise ordinance restrictions. I stood up against Montgomery County overreaching sign restrictions, and Jared and I spoke in Montgomery County and Floyd County 2A meetings in support of Second Amendment sanctuary. My opponents were railroaded. The Second Amendment sanctuary movement was a defining moment for many of us conservatives. We are facing unprecedented attacks on our God-given rights while the government is creating gun-free zones, undefended playgrounds for deranged, lawless criminals. And then we watch as they terrorize our communities. Unfortunately, in the name of safety, half of the population has willingly accepted these infringements. Benjamin Franklin said, "He who would trade liberty for safety deserves neither." We need to fight this attack on our rights. We need to hold the line as liberals attempt to steamroll over us. Rhinos, Republicans in name only, are wolves in sheep's clothing and have done as much, if not more damage than our opponents. So, when I go knock on doors, so many folks run out and say, "Hey, I know you, you're Marie March, and I'm voting for you. You're the only one who won't back down." Of course, then they tell me they can't stand Chris Hurst. I've seen many folks I haven't seen in years, and I've met new folks, and everyone's made me feel like family. Honestly, it's invigorated me, and at times it's even brought me to tears. I love where we live, and I truly love the people here. After this last election, we all want hope. We want someone who will stand their ground, and we want the government to start working for us, not us working for them. I know that many of you may already know who I am, and you know what I'm about, and you've seen me spamming Facebook lately. And of course, I've got a website, I've got flyers, newspaper articles, and maybe you've seen me speak. but you know that I'm a strong supporter for the free market, for personal property rights, for our Second Amendment, pro-life, election integrity, government transparency, and small business. But I want to talk to you today about some of the things I've learned in the last month, and I'm just going to jump right in and say it. Politics is a dirty business. You see, the government, and that's the state, the county, the town, and even the political parties, are run by small groups of powerful people, and their two main interests are this. 1, maintaining their power. 2, preventing anyone from rising up who would threaten their power. Have you seen that one of my competitors who sits on the Montgomery County Board of Supervisors, she's received so many endorsements from her fellow board members. It's the main point she talks about when she speaks. Have you met my competitor? Have you actually heard her speak? Do you think she's going to be able to stand up for you when she's barely able to stand up for herself? We've pulled the minutes from all of her meetings, and she has never even voiced an opinion on anything. Another one of my competitors claims he'll be a strong voice for everybody. What does that even mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means I'm going to play a middle-of-the-road kind of guy who will go whichever way they want me to. Another puppet politician. But I'm going to tell you about me. I'm not a strong voice for everybody. I'm not a voice for socialism. I'm not a voice for cronyism. And I am not a voice for big government, among other things.
Right on.
Yep. And one thing more, my opponents were not at any of the 2A Sanctuary County events. They talk a big game, but neither showed up nor did they speak in defense of your right to defend yourself. I was there, my husband and I spoke at those meetings, and we attended Lobby Day in Richmond. Edgar Murrow said, "A nation of sheep will beget a government of wolves." My last few years fighting for the people against local and county government clued me in on this, but the last month, dealing with county, state, national level politicians, PACs, and lobbyists has solidified this for me. What we've got here is a battle. It really is us against them. We're the little guy. This is even moral against amoral. I'm not kidding, this is real. This comes down to good versus evil in many cases. But here's the good news. Nobody in this room is a sheep. We are making a stand. We have been motivated. We are actively engaged. Some would even say we are actively enraged. We are rising up here and across the country. We've been called to do this. Strange as it may seem, it took the actions of a certain brash New York Yankee to wake us up, to get us on our feet, to get us out the door and onto the streets, to try to bring a new kind of person into politics. At one of my earlier rallies, a fella came up to me afterwards and said something that really motivated me. He said, "We need somebody in Richmond who is uncorruptible, Marie, and I think you're the person." And I'm telling you here today, that's me. So, the excitement is real, we're close, but what can you do as one person to help? Whoever wins this primary will be your delegate in Richmond. I need your vote. I need your support, and I hope that I'm showing you that I'm worthy of it. I need you to get your friends, your relatives, your neighbors on board, and I mean it. If you can get 1 or 2 or even 10 people on board, then we've got this. It's crazy how few people actually vote. My friend David Whitaker, who now sits on the Floyd Town Council, won his race by 1 vote. He is now the lone conservative on the Floyd Town Council. So the wolves are at the door, and you will make the difference in this race, in this district, in the Commonwealth, and in this country, which you and I love so much. We have a huge opportunity right now, and the work starts here. Starts in our homes, in our schools, in our community. And with the aggressiveness of the left today, the days of the meek, squishy, spineless, gummy worm politician are over. Yes. If we our entire way of life. God, the free market, entrepreneurialism, military and police, free speech, the right to defend yourself, and I could go on and on. So it's time for us to get to work. I need your vote on April the 24th. March for freedom, march for liberty, march for Delegate, and remember, I ride horses, not fences.